Alright, so I'm going to come in here with my little dent puller. I'm going to find that lowest spot. And I'm going to just hit that. Zap it real quick. Yeah, zap it real quick. Put this tool on here. You press that up, slide that in, pull it down, tighten it up. And all I'm doing is just working these little, like I say, somebody dinged me up here. But when I come in here and fix these, I want to use as less body filler back on here, and I might not even have to put no body filler on these. I might be able to just, by them being so small, just sand this down and reprime it. So I just want to hit it, zap it real fast, put it on there. And I feel it come up right away. So then I'll go grab my cutters, cut these off and grind it down. Alright, so now I'm gonna, if they twist off, that's fine. If they don't twist off, I'm gonna just cut them off. That one twisted off. Alright. So now I just want to come through. That's going to need a slight bit of mud on it. Now when you're sanding these guys, you don't want to get this metal too hot grinding, so that's kind of why I'm skipping around. A little light mud on there. That feels okay. The primer probably will probably get that where that is, but I might put a light slim of mud on all three of these. Alright guys, so I'm ready to put this hood in prime, and I just want to come through and hit all my bare metal spots with this 108 cleaner. You go back and look at some of my other videos, you'll find this 108 cleaner on a couple of videos I did about knowing a good metal prep and whatever, so I'm not going to repeat it here today. You go back and look at some of my other videos, you'll find this 108 cleaner on a couple of videos I did about knowing a good metal prep and whatever, so I'm not going to repeat it here today and show you that, but it's in one of the other videos, so you get time, go back, check it out. I just want to show you now, once you put this metal prep on here, you want to let it sit for a little bit. You don't got to let it sit a long time. Now if it's a more rusted area, you might want to let it sit a little longer. like there. Some other videos I showed how I come in with the die grinder, and everything I didn't hit there, if you notice, is turning black. So that's how you, one way you know a good metal prep is when you put it on. If it's a lightly surface rust area, not deep rust, you can actually use sandpaper or scuff pad and you can scuff that rust off of there. I did a video on my 70 Wildcat hood showing that. So it's a few videos out there I got, guys. You can go back and look. But I already treated this. Now you see how that's turned black? Now I did die grind some of this out, but some of the finer stuff I just can't get through. So, but it turns black, so that lets you know that that metal prep is working and in pretty good shape. So I'm gonna come back in now that I got this all sprayed down. Now something else, like all along these edges, guys, you want to let this dry. Now you got to put primer. I'm gonna put epoxy primer on here, but you want to do that within at least 30 minutes of spraying 108 or your metal prep, whatever you're using. Well, with the 108, that's all I ever really use. You got to come within a half hour and put some kind of primer or something on here, however, whatever you're using. You know, a high build, some of them can go on direct metal. I use epoxy primer because sometimes my cars, I switch them back and forth outside. So I want as much protection from the rain that I can get, even though I have them tarped. I just want the most protection on my cars because, you know, I don't have enough room to keep them all inside at all times. So I get a couple of more sold. These are like these limiteds that I got. Once I get them sold, I'll have room everywhere. So, all right, guys. Alright guys, one more thing when using this, anywhere you might have these deep pits, you want to make sure that it's totally dry. I mean, I even wipe down around my edges here, because you know, you want this everything, you want this metal prep to totally, be dry. So you want to make sure you wipe around your edges, and then I normally come in with, I got compressed air here, and I normally come in with compressed air and hit around these edges just a little bit. You just want to make sure everything is dry. You know, the body filler, you spray that right over that, it don't hurt it, but you want to make sure everything is totally dry. So I got some edges that got paint chips on them. I'm touching all of that up today. I still got to run a piece of tape like that down here because all of this is painted up under there, and so I don't want no overspray. So I still got to come through. And tape across there where I'm not getting overspray everywhere. So all I'm doing today, guys, is just touching all of this up. Like I say, you just want to make sure everything is dry. Like, see, now this dried up before I sanded it back down, so I want to come back through and spray that down and then wipe it down. You don't want this stuff to just totally dry on there. So I got to come back and hit that, guys, and then I'll be ready to put this thing in epoxy primer. All right, guys, so I come through, put that first coat on there. And as you see, you can still see a lot. It's a light coat. I'm gonna come back through, put a heavier coat on. And as I was saying, in these areas that you want to let dry, make sure everything's dry. Like where I did this grinding there, you want to make sure all of that's dry. And you know, a lot of guys, you know, if you don't know exactly what to do, that's why you wonder, well, how did it work out and that guy did and I did it and it didn't. A lot of times, like I say, if that don't dry in there, it'll cover, but eventually you'll start having a bubble in there later on because it's moistness between the primers and the metal or whatever surface. Even like when I sprayed that up over the top over the bodywork, that 108 cleaner, if that bodywork area ain't completely dry, it can cause a bubble in the air pocket in there by that being wet. And then you wonder why, well, why is it bubbling and starting to rust in that area? I did it exactly the way he told me to do it, or the way I seen it, or the way I was taught. But I just like going into detail so you'll know. You got to make sure your surfaces are totally dry, because if you don't, it's going to create problems. Not right away, a lot of times. It can be right away, but a lot of times the problems will come up later and you be wondering, you know, why is this happening? And that's why. You got to let this stuff totally dry, guys. All right, I'm going to come in and put a heavier coat on here. Probably put 1 or 2 more coats on here. And then I'll be ready to put the higher build primer on here. And then I'll sand it. Might have to prime it again before I prime it with the urethane. So, all right, so I got this thing in prime. Now I'm on wet sand it. I mean, use me. All right, so I got it in prime. Now I'm gonna come through with 150 grit and hit this all with 150 grit at this time. Break it down, then I'll reprime it again. And then I'll see where I'm at, highs and lows, and see if I need to prime it a 3rd time. Now I know that's, you know, a lot of guys won't do the car the way I'm doing it, but trust me, when they come out as a showstopper, you will understand why I'm doing what I'm doing. That's why this one is called the showstopper. All right, so I just wanted to come in and just show you here. Like here, it's still low. Wherever you see these dark spots at, it's still a little low. So I got to clean this up one last time. And I put a little heavier primer in that area. And sand this down one more time and look like the last time. You know, if you look, I got a lot of small little spots right in there. They all fill out with this next coat of primer, so should be flat at that point. So come in here and get this done. All right.